played much better. I thought that we won the game for several reasons, but I thought that we were able to string together consecutive stops in both halves, obviously more in the second half than in the first. I thought we made way more winning plays than we have been making. We turned the ball over way too much again. Chris didn't make any free throws in the first half, but it was by far the most dominating performance he's had in a game, much less than a half. I thought Devontae was the swing vote in the second half. Thought he played really well, and just thought that we made more winning plays than we have been making.
Bugs, what about the starting lineup?
Change it up, need somebody. I love all of them. I don't think we have a bad player on our roster. It was nothing Bikes did. It was nothing Jay did. Let's change it up. I thought Junior was as good as he has been. I think Joe's a great traffic rebounder. As long as Joe doesn't get completely annihilated in the post, when the shot goes up, he'll always have a chance to get a rebound. And as many times as he'll screw up offensively, not understanding what to do, he will find an open spot and he can make an open shot. So, I thought all of our guys played really well.
Outside of Andy, that may have been the most active Chris and Ben in the stretch. What got into him?
I just think, CJ, I just think he's getting better. I think he's growing. I think he's trying to figure it out. He wants to be a really good player, and he's never been a really good player. And so he's continued to grow. He's spending a lot of time in the gym, spends a lot of time with Todd, watches a lot of tape with Jamie. And I just think he's kind of coming into his own relative to, I understand. Is he an all-league guy as a sophomore? No. Is he ever an all-league guy? I don't know. But I never thought that he would be a guy that could go 0 of 5 from the free throw line and have whatever it was, 7 rebounds and 10 points in however many minutes he played in the first half.
Buzz, back to the starting lineup. Are you happy with the results of it? Something you might stick with?
Yeah, I don't know. Not to sound wrong or silly. I just want to win, and so if you can help us win, you can play. And again, nothing anybody did. They've been on point. I thought we were off on Wednesday. I was completely out of town, which was healthy for me. Healthy for me to be away from all of it. And spent a lot of time on the plane, a lot of time in the car, only talked to my wife, and it was good. And then we worked really good on Thursday, went back, kind of simplified a lot of stuff, and just worked on those things Thursday, Friday, and today, and I think that it helped.
And you had lost 2 in a row and 5 of 7, so it's just another big win for a whole other reason, right?
Yeah, I mean, we need to win. And all those games that we've lost, you could argue that we should have or could have or needed to win, but we didn't make enough winning plays to win. And I thought that tonight that we did.
You talk about winning plays. Is that the lesson learned right now as you kind of recalibrate for the final stretch? They have to do this. They have to close out.
Yeah, I think that loose balls, 50-50 balls. How many jump balls were there tonight? Way more than there have been. How many guys were diving on the floor? Way more than we have been. I don't know that we took a charge, but we had 18 out of 27 baskets were assisted. I know that we're in the top 15 in the country, and it's hard to argue that when 63% of our baskets in Big East play have been assisted, it's hard to argue with our guys. Every basket needs to be assisted, but typically speaking, assisted baskets come from paint touches. Paint touches typically lead to fouls. Fouls will eventually lead to free throw makes. All of those things are really important, but when they shot the ball 57 times and we out-rebounded them by 18. That's a hard thing to do unless you're making a lot of winning plays, and I thought that collectively our team made a lot of winning plays.
You worried about Vander a little bit?
Yeah.
In terms of his confidence, in terms of his mindset right now?
I'm worried because I don't think he'll eat again until I see him again. He doesn't eat very good. He likes to eat what my sons eat, cereal and granola bars and gummy bears. I don't think he eats very well when I'm not around him. That's the only thing I worry about.
Buzz, you guys were 14 of 16 from the foul line the second half, but first half 2 of 10, and like the end of the South Florida game, 0 of 7 down the stretch, and you win by 1. As a coach, when that's the situation with your team, is is that something you try to avoid stressing and bringing attention to so as not to make it a mental thing, or do you address it?
Well, entering tonight, you probably study all these numbers, but entering tonight, we were 5th in our league in free throw percentage. We shot 70% through 13 games. So including all of the misses at South Florida, and even including, so we were 2 of 10, and Chris missed 5 in a row. So if he doesn't miss those 5 in a row, you know, say he makes 3, he was a 70% free throw shooter coming into the night. So if he makes 3 out of 5, we make 19 out of 26 instead of 62%. It's 74%, and that's about what we shoot. So, Darius was 3 of 5. That's about what he is. Jimmy was 2 of 2. Dwight was 2 of 2, which is better than what he is. Jay was 4 of 6, which is better than what he is. And Devontae was 5 of 6, and he's an 82% free throw shooter. So Chris needs to make free throws.
You touched on Gardner in your opening, but I think it was Georgetown where he hit his other big game. What does he need to do to just be consistent?
Well, he's got to get to where he can defend a ball screen and not play behind in the possession if he's guarding in the low post. And similar to Chris, he's beginning to figure it out. He's spending a lot of time watching tape. He wants to do right. Doing right and wanting to do right are hard things to do when you're 18 years old and you've never played at this level with this intensity. But he's getting better. He's getting better. And I dream of Genie when he catches the ball. You know, they're in a 2-2-1 press, and I'm trying to call timeout because I think we're fumbling it, and he catches it and throws it to somebody for a layup. You know, he's got great hands and great feet. Offensively, he just needs to continue to use those defensively.
Is it to the point now with Jimmy, because he's upperclassman, and even though he hasn't logged a lot of Big East minutes, that you don't have to say certain things to him, he just knows when he needs to do certain things?
Yeah, I'm really close with Jimmy. Obviously, he was the first player I signed as the head coach here. I think he's a really good player. He's a hard guy to take off the floor. He's very similar to Wesley, what Wesley was relative to he can guard multiple positions. He can do multiple things offensively. He has a pace and a pulse for everybody on our team and kind of understanding what they're good at and what they're bad at. I don't know that I necessarily say anything to Jimmy that I wouldn't say to anybody else on our team. I think that there are some things that I don't have to say that it's already understood just because his mind is very linear like mine. He doesn't have a lot of emotion relative to his thought process. His thought process is very analytical, and that's I get along really well with guys like that.
Coach, there was a key momentum swing from at the end of the first half. You guys went on a 6-0 run. How did you carry that momentum into the second half?
Well, I don't know. I don't know exactly the numbers on it, but I did think that we closed the half really well. I think when there was a timeout with like 1 minute and 20 seconds, and you know, depending upon how you think of things, it could have been a 2-for-1 for us. But Chris wasn't in the game at that time, and so we just played it out. We ended up getting 2 possessions. We scored on both possessions. But I think their first 5 possessions, I think they only scored once. I'm not sure. It may have been twice. But I thought that we carried over defensively what we had done offensively to end the first half.
That's it.